Well, my name's Larry Guffey. I don't know, some of you probably heard the story that I have. Diane wanted me to keep this short. She just wanted me to talk about the health issues. Well, if I just name all the health issues, that'll take the whole time. So, heart disease, kidney, renal failure, and diabetes. I, too, went with Steve to see Dr. Joe. I had my first heart attack when I was 31 years old, and, you know, I was looking at the barrel of the gun like the doctor was at a young age, and I didn't know what to do. And at that time, in 1979, nobody knew what to do. It was sort of unheard of, anybody under the age of 75 having a heart attack. So I did the bypass surgery and all that stuff. Consequently, I had 5 heart attacks the following years. In 1993, I had 25% of my heart working. Had a heart transplant. The Lord was gracious and good to me in that the match that I had was almost perfect. It was a 19-year-old heart that had a lady that had been killed in a car wreck. So when you're on a transplant of any kind, you have to take mega drugs. Back then, you did. I'm here to tell you today that you don't have to if you take Pro Argi, because I was on 36 different drugs a day, and now I'm on about 4 or 5. I don't know if I'll ever get off of the anti-rejection drugs. It's pretty hard to take a chance of going off anti-rejection drugs because you don't want to go into rejection by any means, because it's sometimes hard to pull out of that, and that's a fatal thing. But that's been 15 years ago, or 16 years ago. I was, 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with renal failure, was going to have a shunt put in to do dialysis because the cyclosporin that is taken for my anti-rejection to my heart was killing my kidneys, and you know, that's one of those crazy things that happen. And so I was getting ready to go on dialysis. In 3 weeks I was introduced to the Pro Argi and the V3 products, and I started taking them. Well, I went to the doctor to get the shunt put in. Of course, he does a blood test to see how things are going. And he said, well, it doesn't look like you really need to do that. We're not at that stage yet. So let's wait a while. We waited a while. My blood test started showing that my kidneys were improving and my GFR was coming up and coming up and coming up. Well, 3 months later, he says, well, we don't even want to think about putting you on the transplant list anymore. I never did get on the transplant list, but he was thinking about putting me there for a kidney. So I tell people that Pro Argi and the V3 products saved me from a kidney transplant, which is the truth. The diabetes, overwhelming. I was taking 8 shots of insulin a day, and after I started the Pro Argi, I only was down to 2, and thanks to Dr. Joe, I'm not on any right now. I have the Bieta, but you know, even that, I don't really think I need as much as I'm taking. So the doctor and I have to talk about that.
Great. Thank you very much, Larry. Awesome.